my name is Addie Karo. I'm from Atkinson, Nebraska. I actually live on a ranch just southwest of there, and I have lived in Holt County for all of 19 years of my life. Growing up in Holt County, there is just an appreciation for, one, the rural community that we live in. And I think some of the main things that make Holt County, so special and such a great place to grow up in is that I always felt very safe and protected. I also kind of felt like not only did my family get to raise me, but Holt County also raised me and turned me into the person that I am becoming. Some of my favorite memories as far as Holt County goes probably relate a lot back to West Holt Public Schools. In my younger years, I would walk from the school to my grandma's house since she lived in town. And me and my siblings, we would carry our saxophones and trombones and all of our band instruments down Main Street. And we'd always stop in at RF Goki's and get some ice cream or a soda, something fun in there. So those are some of my fun younger memories. Then once I got older, I kind of started to get more involved within the school and the community. And a lot of my favorite memories as far as those older years are probably going to stem from West Holt FFA. I go to school at the University of Nebraska Kearney, and I'm a part of the Kearney Health Opportunities Program, also known as KHOP. I am studying to become a rural physician, so my major is biology comprehensive with a health science emphasis and a minor in psychology. Being a part of the KHOP program, I came from rural Nebraska, and now I have a spot in med school at UNMC, so after my next 3 years at Kearney, I'll go to the Med Center for 4 years and then on to residency and return to rural Nebraska. That is the purpose of the program. And so that is kind of where my goals align with that. As far as rural medicine and just wanting to become a doctor in general, I grew up on a ranch, and so I was always around helping the vaccines. A lot of that started out with cattle. And so I was very interested in that when we would be branding or mass vaccinating. I understood that I really like to help things. But then as I got older, I decided that I wanted to help people more specifically rather than the animal side. So from a young age, I kind of knew that I wanted to be a doctor, and my mind has never wavered from that. I had a lot of personal experiences with hospitals growing up, whether that was my local hospital, West Holt Medical Services, to Faith Regional, to Children's in Omaha, all the way to Mayo. I had a lot of experience in hospitals, and I knew that that is exactly where I belonged and exactly where I wanted to end up being. Kind of furthermore, what really drove me kind of home to being a doctor and has really fueled my passion has been some of the opportunities that rural Nebraska and Holt County specifically have been able to provide me. I've been a CNA ever since I was 16 at West Holt Medical Services in Atkinson, which constantly reminds me every day how much I love to care for people and just how dedicated I am to medicine, and that's exactly what I want to do. And I guess kind of the last thing then, really about Holt County specifically that set me on this path and keeps me going on it every day is I was able to obtain my emergency medical technician's license through the Karo 501 Foundation. They were able to help me get that. So when I was trying to determine where I wanted to go to school at, I was looking at a lot of the different HOP programs, whether that was Wayne, Chadron, and Kearney were the ones I was looking at. And really what drove me to UNK and keeps me staying there is how similar it actually is to Holt County. I'm a very involved individual, and that is how I like it. I like to be able to not only be within these organizations, but have some room for some leadership opportunities as well. And at UNK, I have found just that. I've been able to be very involved in my campus, lots of organizations where I'm very fulfilled in, and then several opportunities where I'm able to help lead on campus and make a difference there. So I think what makes Holt County really unique compared to some other places is just the sense of pride. I think when you're driving down the road and you see a 36 county plate coming, you know that that person is going to be there for you. If you break down on the side of the road, there is help surrounding you. You know that you are not in this alone. And I just think that, safe feeling that you get when you're surrounded by these people and just knowing that everyone's there for each other, that kind of, builds off the aspect of teamwork, which I've been able to see from, the hospital EMS, the medical sides within our communities. But then I also look at the teamwork between schools and kids and just all of these different factors that really make this such a unique community to live in. You know, those safe feelings that you have, knowing that everyone's there for you, and just the teamwork at the end of the day. What really gets me excited about Atkinson is just the opportunities that it does have for its youth. I look at West Holt Public Schools and I'm so thankful that that is where I was able to go to school at. The education system there is phenomenal. The advisors, the coaches, everybody there is truly amazing, and they want you to be successful, and they truly do prepare you for the future. I find myself, you know, in situations now and within this past year where I look back and I'm like, wow, you know, that debate class my senior year, modern problems, like actually did pay off. Like I'm able to apply all this knowledge that the community and the school has given me, and it's really shaping me into who I am, and it's helping me, you know, get to my dreams and accomplish what I want to accomplish. So right now as a college student, I have kind of taken a break just because I do spend my year now in Kearney. But throughout high school, I would say that I was really, you know, trying to get involved within my community, and I plan to in my future. Starting when I was a sophomore in high school, I became the junior board member for the West Holt Medical Services Foundation, which was a very unique opportunity, and I'm very blessed to have that opportunity. I was able to give back to not only the community through, you know, volunteer efforts and stuff through the foundation, but I was able to give back to, you know, West Holt Medical Services as a provider, kind of helping them, guide them through different initiatives, and like I said, volunteering and service opportunities, and just kind of some of those behind the scenes details that are happening in the hospital. So that was one way that I was involved in the community. And then my senior year, I kind of touched on it, but I got to be part of a very special program, the Karo 501 program that honors Ryan Keough. Through that program, you just feel such pride to be there and to be representing someone's dream. So those are kind of two of the bigger things I was able to do within my community, and I continue to serve working as a CNA at West Holt Medical Services. Currently I'm PRN and I get back to help whenever I can, but yeah, those are just some of the main things that I've done, and I look forward to doing more in my future, you know, once I'm done with all my schooling and my education. So being a part of the KHOP program, I will be returning to rural Nebraska, and Holt County is definitely a place that I can see myself returning to. I've had such a great childhood growing up here. Like I said, I've been able to be blessed with so many opportunities, great school, and just a great community that helped raise me. And so I definitely see myself, you know, coming back to raise my family here. Furthermore, kind of into the medical side, I'm really interested in primary care and women's health, and I see a very big need for that within our community. You know, I want to be a part of that solution where women do not have to drive 4 hours to get specialized care. So we'll see where the future takes me, but as of now, I can definitely see myself coming back here and developing my career and my, you know, professional life here, but as well as my personal life. Holt County has helped me in a multitude of ways. I truly believe that I am the person I am today because of them. I look back on some of the principles of, you know, how to do teamwork or how to think critically. Some of those skills, you know, I was taught in high school athletics or FFA, the different leadership positions I've been able to hold here in Holt County. And those truly have shaped me into the person that I am. You know, I find myself using them in my work now as an EMT, as well as in college when I'm approaching, you know, professors or leading different organizations or peer health initiatives. Whatever it may be, I always find myself, you know, thinking back to those morals that Holt County has really helped build for me. What I love about the people in Holt County, I think most specifically, is just the hard working atmosphere. Everyone here is very determined, and there are a lot of new ideas that are being brought up. I think that's obvious in the way that our county is flourishing. You have a lot of younger people who are coming back and, you know, have all these bright ideas, and they're actually putting them into action. And I think that just, you know, speaks for itself that we have so many people who are born and raised here and come back. So, you know, that atmosphere of that hard working, but then coming back to the service and coming back to serve your communities, I think is one of my favorite pieces of Holt County.